Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Man United Agenda. Today we talk Super League, Andy Jong, and Fati. OMONDI, how you doing, man?
Yeah, nice to see you, Mr. B, again. My regular weekday partner here in crime, and CALLULA as well. I mean, the trio. We should form a band, you know. CALLULA, you can be our lead singer because you've got so many fans out there on the agenda. Yeah, guys, I'm feeling a lot better than I was yesterday because yesterday I looked at it as points dropped, but when I really analysed it, being 2-0 down in the Premiership and to come back and get a draw, that's a win situation. So we have to, even though we might have tight aspirations and it might be dented by not getting the 3 points and whatever, I'm still pro Ten Hag. The way he turned it around at halftime to go in the dressing room, have 15 minutes, analyze it, take his notes, transfer it onto the players, and they came out and won the second half. You have to give the guy credit.
I the points thing for me, I do think that we're very lucky because it was kind of dire straits until Rashford's goal, and it did. You can see that the players have got the mentality to come back, where some teams that would have just dropped. So our manager's doing a perfect job. I just really hope that some of the players, I won't mention any, just take a look at their performance and figure out ways to improve. One thing I will say, though, is I was very unhappy with some of the fans, how they reacted to Garnacho when there are other players that are, no matter how bad a player is, there's constructive criticism and then there's being unfair. And you've got to remember Garnacho, he's still learning. It's onwards and upwards. He's 18 years old. So, yeah, I think some of the fans can be quite harsh. But either way, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to be good. What we need to do is just improve, and come Sunday, let's do better.
We will. OMONDI, could you just say hi to take a couple of comments in the chat, please?
Yeah, big up Bobby. Obviously, the fish in the blue heart. We know what comes with Bobby, and more to come, I hope. Ed Mayhem is saying, good evening, guys and ladies. Thank you. Eddie Football Waffle is saying, hit the like for us. If the Super League is back on, then the Glazers leeches will stay on with some kind of ownership, I think. Not good. So he's concerned there. I want to say hi to Bilal, sorry. Forgive me. Evening, ladies and gentlemen, he says. Big up to Robbie Norman. I was chatting to you on Twitter today. Got enough respect for Robbie Norman. He knows his stuff. He said they didn't listen to him in the first 5 minutes of the second half. We can see the goals early in the first half and second half. Yeah, it's tough, that, isn't it? Andy Long's in the house as well. I say good evening. And Almighty Blues FC. Big up the legends. Big up to you, Almighty Blues. Go and check out that channel. Fantastic. Ankek. Sorry. And yes, I agree with CALLULA, says Eddie. Some fans went in too hard on Garnacho online. They almost expected him to be the finished article already. Laughing at that. Yeah, that's a good point.
I didn't even realize. I didn't even notice anything, to be fair, but I said maybe I don't follow those sort of people, but look, it is what it is. These players are Man United players, high profile. He'll put up with it, man. His skin's thick, and I'm sure that wage packet will help him along the way. Wage packets and helping along the way. Guys, Super League's back. It just won't go away. Obviously, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juve gonna like a PR group to try and push through legislation for this so-called Super League tournament. They want up to 80 teams. They're talking about three different divisions. Thoughts on Monday, guys? Thoughts in the chat. I've got mine, but Monday I want to hear what.
Okay, so my thoughts on it is, as you know, I'm not really qualified to talk about all this sort of stuff, but they tried it before, and it's like it's been rebranded and gift wrapped again. They're trying to present it to us. What really made me laugh when I was looking at it today, there's a quote here from A22 Sports Management. They're the one who was sort of like promoting it again, putting it out there, you know. And what they said, so there's problem, reaction, solution with most situations that we see in the world today. This is how most things work. Create the problem. You create the problem. You get the reaction, desired reaction you want, and then you come with a solution, all packaged, say that's nice, And we've seen that before, but it didn't work last time. People were clued up, and wisdom is important with most football fans. They were clued up. They said, nah, we're not having none of this. So they've come back, thought about it with their think tanks that they do, and they come back. And this is a quote I'm going to say by one of the guys from a German newspaper. He said, the foundations, now listen to this very carefully, problem, reaction, solution. The foundations of European football are in danger of collapsing. So they're creating a problem. We're going to be, oh my God, the foundation of European football going to collapse. They're in danger. Well, save us. What can you do? We've got this wonderful Super League. Point 2, Mark 2, to present to you guys. It's better than last time. Much better. You see what I'm saying here? So I ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We've had all that drama before, So they're saying it's time for a change. Oh God, yeah. Like with election time, it's like things can only get better. Well, now I found you, Tony Blair, 98. You had Obama saying change, and always the same manifesto they try to bring to you. So they say time for a change. It is the clubs that bear the entrepreneurial risk in football. So the clubs are under pressure. If you loved your club, you'd want them to make this right move towards the Super League. The Super League returns, and so look at the techniques. I always look at the techniques they use. I don't know too much about the details, but yeah, as Mr. B said about there'll be more clubs, so you can still play a domestic game. The first of all was like 12 to 18 clubs. Now they're talking about 60 to 80 teams.
60 to
and
80.
Saying, each with a guaranteed minimum of 14 matches per season, and continue to play their domestic leagues. So they're trying to restructure it and repackage it, make it a lot nicer. But like I said, I don't trust these MOFOs at all. It's all about money. They're not doing it for the welfare of European football. Worried, oh my God, I'm so rich. I'm so worried. I don't want European football to go to the pits. Let me save them by doing this. They're doing it for money. Someone's going to make money out of this. And that's what it's all about, really, if you break it down. CALLULA, I don't know if you agree with me, because I'm not really qualified to talk on it.
I'm definitely not qualified. I just have an opinion. So for me, it sounds bad. I was just thinking, so I'm completely with you. It was like, I'm going to really geek out now. And it was a Starship Troopers, a really old show. We want you. And you see that really cheesy army advertisement. That's what I was getting from it. The whole 60 to 80 teams, which was mentioned there by, I was going to say Canelo, like Canelo Alvarez then. But yeah, I think that's just a tactic, because they saw that when Premiership teams were interested, let's say the ones that are money teams, as I say, the higher teams, the reaction was so bad, they've realised that the original 20 wasn't going to work. So I think they're trying to grow it to kind of get more people involved. There's nothing at the moment we've seen with the moving the World Cup alone. We've seen how many matches some teams have got. Fitting this in as well I just don't think it's needed. I think it is greed. And one of the issues is that when it comes to, let's see what happened last time, especially our team, I remember even Liverpool fans burning shirts and different things like that. The Super League, let alone, brought our country together more than when they put the petrol up. They could see that fans were completely against this concept and against it. And we're just going to be it's not about being the best anymore either, is it? It's like you've got these certain teams in Europe that just want to always be in the limelight. And it's like when a player gets older and they don't know when to retire, you've got to win to get in it. It's just trying to find a way for them to be somewhere and still get money, televised, and just kind of dominate it, rather than, if you want to be the best, get in the Champions League. But that's my opinion, by the way, guys.
Mr. B, help us out here. I mean, what do you know?
I mean, look, what's going to put a real kibosh on it? To be fair, obviously they had all of the clubs, the chairman of the clubs or the owners of the clubs sign up to a new Premier League owners charter. So basically, the first page of it that they've all signed, we are collectively committed to the Premier League. We will not engage in the creation of any new competition format outside the Premier League. That's what they had to sign. So they've introduced, or they're floating the idea of the Super League, but Premier League teams can't enter it. So you've got 60 to 80 teams. What they're going to have: the Greek, top 5 Greek teams, top 5 Spanish teams, maybe. But then, do they still play? Can they still play in the Champions League? You know, that's where the real money is at the moment. So there's no chance. It's dead in the water. I think there's absolutely no chance that there's any hope that it can come. They can talk about all the figures that they want. I mean, if you notice it, it's the European teams that are pushing it. Juve, they've just been done for fiddling the books, shall we say. Barcelona, which we'll come on to in a little while, have to reduce their wage bill by a fair amount. So these are teams with no money.
So
again, I'm on.
Yeah, so just another thing here to add, like from my research today. So in December, UEFA and FIFA received significant backing in their bid to block the creation of European Super League. So UEFA is Europe Football Federation, and FIFA is the World Federation. So they don't like this. They want to keep their World Cups, their European Championship, whatever, Champions League. That's their little money earner there. So they don't want none of this. And they said they blocked it. But in a report released by the European Court of Justice, its Advocate General said the rules of football's European and world governing bodies were compatible with the EU competition law. So it has been claimed that UEFA and FIFA were breaking competition law by threatening to sanction clubs and players who joined a breakaway league. A final ruling will be made by a 15-member Grand Chamber in the spring. So these 15 guys are probably getting packages sent to their doors right now.
Yeah.
You know, either way.
CALLULA?
One thing I did read, which is true, because I've gotten to your point, Mr. B, where they've signed the Premier League agreement, which is they're not allowed to engage. Everybody knows, and it's not egotistical, it's just the way things are. If they can't get the Premier League teams, it's dead in the water anyway, because the European teams aren't going to be able to hold as much attention. They're not going to be able to get the contracts, you know, not going to be able to get the television space as well. With everything that's going on at the moment, it is just teams that just want to, they're just bad eggs. That's what I call them. Like when is it Veruca Salt in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory goes on and she goes down and shoots? They're bad eggs. They're not good, and it's not good for football. And I feel for the players on their team, because if they're making these decisions and going against all these and going against it, what did the players do? Did the players leave? Because they're in contract with these teams. Like, if you're a player with one of these teams, you've got to feel a bit awkward with the way that they're going.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah, similar to remember the Packer deal with cricket years ago in the late 70s when Packer came along and presented with the cricket series league, and then a lot of players left their national countries to play in this series, you know, and they couldn't go back. And then there's also like going to play when during apartheid, a lot of players, West Indian team, decided to go for the money to play South Africa during the apartheid, and they couldn't get back in as well. So players have to be mindful about what's going on right here. And I also wonder what happens to the smaller clubs. Does money get fed down to these smaller clubs? These smaller clubs have a chance to reach the big stage. I mean, it's hard enough if you're a team like Oxford United, for example. There's only so much growth you can make with their stadium and their fan base and that kind of thing. So how are they going to generate money? Are they going to go out of business eventually due to this pyramid scheme where all the money is sort of at the top and the rest just don't have the money? So I don't know. We obviously have to look into this, but there's a lot of people in the comments that seem to know what they're talking about as well. I just want to read a couple because I'm learning all the day. So, by the way, Bill Badger, how you doing? Obviously, 60 to 80 teams says HD Gamer. I call him HD Gamer rather than Kaleno. Okay. We need about 3 squads for that tournament of 14 plus games. So there you go, it's a squad depth game. Ed Mayhem says, agreed on Monday, it's all about money and making the rich clubs richer. Andy Long is saying half those clubs wish they were still rich. The Super League is their attempt at clawing back their way back there. So Mr. B said that as well. They went from Elite 12 to everyone and your granny can play the tournament. That's from HD Gamer. And again, he's saying, well, if everyone goes to the Super League, we'll make it 7. We'll make 7 Champions Leagues. HD Gamer, again, it's not to play alongside the Champions League. They want to replace it. Do you want to say hi as well to MEFC? Say what's up, people. And he's giving us an update on Cristiano Ronaldo, who scored 4 goals today.
Whoop-de-doo. Didn't do that for us, did he? I don't know, man. I don't know. He'll keep playing. I think it was his 500th goal. To be fair, it's goal number 500. He'll get goal number 600 before the season's out. Mark my words, yeah.
In that league, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he will. Look, another situation. Look, we've had two situations that have reared their ugly head again. Jong and Fati. I've been on the Man United radar again. Barcelona obviously knows the situation with their leverage last year. This La Liga, obviously, president has made it perfectly clear that Barcelona need to take 200 million off their wage bill before the start of the season. So obviously, like anything else, 2 and 2 make 12, and Fati and De Jong are coming to us. Fati being, De Jong being their highest earner and somebody who we chased the whole summer, who said he didn't want to come, whose girlfriend said he didn't want to come, and now we've been linked with him again. And Fati, who is on at the, how old is Fati? 19?
20 years old.
18?
Yeah.
19?
20.
20. Oh,
20.
okay. 20. Okay, Spanish international. He's on £200,000 a week. So I'm not really sure any of those are feasible. But Monday, talk to me.
Right. We've had bad dealings with Barcelona. Obviously, last summer was like Greece, wasn't it? And living in Newton-John, love affair with John Travolta. Tell me more, tell me more. Will you put up the price? Tell me more. You know, it was terrible. In the end, it was no summer loving for us. We got shafted big time and not even kissed. And but he's playing great football, great player. And he's playing really good football. He started off as centre back. They really tried to mess him around, owed him money. We heard all the story on Man United agenda, and it was in the media as well. Then he started playing him centre back. They got their centre backs filled in now. Now he's playing in a nice midfield role and playing really well. I've been watching him a lot, and he's playing really good football for Barcelona. It's quite easy to play in Barcelona. There's only 2 or 3 teams in that league at the moment that are really anything special. Seville are nearly getting relegated, by the way. Seville won so many Europa Leagues, they're not even in the mix. So I think Barcelona are winning the league at the moment. They're running it at the moment. Xavi's come in. They've made a lot of changes. And but Frankie de Jong is proven he's still a quality player. Whatever happened last year, I wouldn't write him off. I would still consider him because we look at our midfield yesterday. We had Lindelof and Fred. But yes, as for Fati, I've always liked him when he came on the scene, burst on the scene. Fantastic, playing wide, getting a lot of time and space to do what he does, playing at Barcelona football. But I don't think we need a wide man. I always love him. I love the guy, but I just don't think we need a right-foot guy coming in from the left. That sounds like Martial. That sounds like Rashford. That sounds like Sancho. That sounds like Garnacho. We've got too many guys.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. There you go. So there's too many guys in those positions. I do fancy Frankie de Jong, but Fati, I'd be no for me. As good as he is, I don't think we should go for him. We got youngsters coming through. I think we should develop players and don't throw money just because they're teasing us about availability. Last point, obviously Laporte has said here, he loves to play in here. Talk about Fati. Yeah, he loves it at the club. And he says here something like, we cannot predict the future though. So basically, open the door slightly, leave the door slightly open. Say, yeah, we love him, keep him on side, but we cannot predict the future. Basically saying, yeah, if you want him, you have to pay big money. Have a little Southern loving part 2, which ended badly for us last season. So yeah, I'm no Fati, but I would say yes to de Jong.
I think you hit the nail on the head, which is one, we've got let's say like a bouncing castle of a future to the summer anyway. And I don't think that we want to have our eyes set on when we've got other positions where we need players, because look what's happened. He's not going to be useful enough for us. And also, as I think HD Gamer has said, which I was going to go into, he's injury prone. So we don't want to get someone that comes to our team and then it has injury prone at a young age as well. We don't want it. We need to get back to our roots when there's like the using the academy kids. We've got enough of them. So it's a no for me. I was actually shocked that this is a thing. It is like we need to get rid of some of the wages and we're selling, and they knew that we had interest. So it's kind of like just going, you remember, I was going to sell you that car. Do you still want it? So I think as well, looking at, let's say, Garnacho, if you compare both the players, Garnacho being a couple of years younger, there's a lot more that Erik ten Hag's going to be able to get out of Garnacho and work with him as well. Because you got to think that Fati spent his last few years away, and the difference maybe with Jong is that Erik ten Hag did work with him before. So there might be things about him that he knows that he can integrate. And you can see that with the people he's worked with before, he's kept mental notes, and he can kind of, can see it in his head. He can physically see where he can put them in a team. So I think if he wants to come to us, that's the other problem, because I don't know if any of these players actually want to come to our team. And what we don't want is someone that's forced into our team that doesn't want to play for our team. When we've got the smile of Sancho yesterday, who's just so happy to be there. That's the one thing we need. We need to have people that want to be with us. And I just don't think Frankie wants to be with us. I know his girlfriend dismissed it again, saying that there was no transfer news and said that there's no chance. So I don't think she wants to come to our cold weather either, to be fair. She's probably looked at our weather and gone, nah, I don't want to be living there. But no, I think Frankie, yes, because of Erik ten Hag working with him before, he is a good player. But one, I don't think he does want to come, and two, it's not, just because, and can we afford him? Do we really want to spend that much money when we really don't want to spend that much money on wages? So I don't know.
I think that's a no. I'm wondering, could you go through the chats? Let's gauge the opinion on the chat.
Yeah, just talking about the Ronaldo thing. Andy Long saying Mr. B could score 4 goals in that league. I'm sure he could. HD Game is saying Barcelona relegated would be the funniest thing I've seen in football. Andy Long saying, imagine City getting punished for their financial fair play breaches individually. That would be the funniest thing ever. So they're competing about the funniest thing in football right now. HD Game is saying Fati is injury prone for about 2 years, as CALLULA was talking about. Get me De Jong, Pedri, and Gavi. There's 2 beautiful midfielders. Bilal is saying, I don't rate Fati anymore. He hasn't been playing much, has he? HG Game is saying, maybe we're free Barcelona of their debt after Qatar have triggered a 1 billion release clause on Gavi and Pedri. Wow, 1 billion. And Casemiro clear anyway of De Jong. Yes, he's clear of De Jong. He's saying Casemiro better play records. They're different players, but they're both top talents for sure.
Top talents. That's what we are, guys. That was a show. That was an in and out. That was an in and out. Nice and brief. We are back tomorrow. Yeah.
One more update. I just want to say, we talk about young players and all that kind of thing. Kobe's signed a new contract. Kobe Manu. He's signed a new contract today. So when I saw that news, I was really delighted. It's really good to see. And you can see his family. Family. He's a local lad, but superbly talented. And I think we talk about Pedri and Gavi. Maybe we've got our future guys who can sort of be on that sort of level, or get that sort of esteem from people. I think he's a talented kid, and they're right to sign him up. I don't know about other contracts. Maybe you've heard, you got the ear on the grapevine or whatever. But that's something I'm really delighted about, and I wanted to shout him out and big up to him. And I wish you all the best in the future, young man.
I mean that is the beauty of having a manager like Ten Hag. Obviously, he's seen something in him, but as I said, he picked him from, you say obscure. He was at Man United, so he's not going to be obscure. Let's be honest, but he's obviously seen something in him, and the fact that he's given a contract, he's been here. Ten Hag's been here 4 months, and he's seen enough in him to renew him. That's really, really, really That's a nice judge. That's nice. That's nice. I like hearing things like that.
I would say I'm super happy as well, because it's going. I think Erik ten Hag's going to do exactly what we need, which is going back to our roots, which is bringing the younger ones up rather than spending the moolah. We don't want to become like the other teams where it's just, let's just throw money at it and then try and glue it together. No, we've got some really, really good younger people there. Yes. And because it's not just that, just look at the way Ten Hag operates. He doesn't look at someone and go, okay, you've got flaws, I'm just going to sell you. He goes, actually, no, how can I make things better if you've got the potential? And that's what the younger players need. They need someone that's going to be able to look at them, look at the world in which they're in, look at what they may need, look at the time and take the time. And that's why I love Erik ten Hag, because he's a father, he's a judge, he's a teacher, he's everything all in one to run the club. And that is something that I haven't seen someone like this since I was a kid. And you know, that is the beautiful Alex Ferguson. And for me, that's so you can tell he cares. As I say, for me, the highlight yesterday was him smiling, Sancho smiling, gleaming, and then like the dad smile, like, yeah, proud moment, just to see him alive again. And that's what we want on the pitch. And I think that the younger players, having someone they can rely on that isn't going to run away, that isn't going to just terrorize them, he's going to work with them and build them. I think we're really lucky. And if he can do all of this, and look what he's doing with like Wan-Bissaka and other players as well, if he can do this in this season, look at the coming years. All the other teams hear it now, be scared.
Yeah, good. Well said, CALLULA.
Be scared. It's Friday tomorrow, guys. It's Friday tomorrow. That means there's a preview and a takeaway. So what days? And Sunday. So we've got preview tomorrow. We've got the takeaway. We've got the watch along Sunday and the reaction Sunday. That closes down the week, guys. As always, I always say you don't have to be here, and we're really glad that you are. It was me, Mr. B, OMONDI Juma, and CALLULA. The Man United agenda. We are out.
Bye-bye.